Hello, I'm Milo. Welcome to the stream today. I hope you're having a good one. Last week we played Meat Boy, which was a lot of fun. This time I'm looking into a sort of sibling series of games by Maddy Thorson. So you might have heard of Celeste by Maddy and the rest of the team. A lot of people's work went into that. But way back in 2004, she made Jumper, which I find interesting, really interesting, just how long ago that was made. For context, Meat Boy is 2008. I Want to Be the Guy is 2007. Even N, The Way of the Ninja, which inspired Meat Boy, was released just a few weeks after Jumper. And for more on similar topics, I do recommend Glitch Cat's article about the history of Kaizo Mario hacks, a very closely related field of games. But yeah, if you're familiar with Jumper at all, or if you're interested in these early indie hardcore platformers, check out Jumper. It's pretty cool. And if you don't want to play it, right here linked on Maddy's website is a very in-depth review by Sylvie, who's been featured on my stream previously, and probably will be in the future. So my plan today is to play Jumper. Hi Gibbon, how's it going? Are you doing well? Happy birthday in advance. A couple of days from now. I hope you have a good day. And while I'm thinking of it, next week I will play any game you request for your birthday. So have a think about it. Anyway, I'm going to play Jumper. I'm going to see how far I can get in about an hour, and then I'll show some of the follow-ups to it. So there's a direct sequel, there's a remake that changes things up a little bit. There's another sequel which changes things up a lot more. And then hopefully by that point you'll see how much Celeste is a direct successor to Jumper, and we'll finish up by playing the latest release, Celeste Classic 2. So that's my plan. Let's get started by capturing this window. Wrong window, I guess. Yeah, there's like a separate window when it's loading. Wait. No? Huh. I probably should have checked this beforehand. Okay, that works. I had to change the way that OBS was capturing it. Does that look right? Okay. I guess that's how it looks. Let me just double check the filtering. Should be okay. I completely forgot my iPad. Let's just go on without it. I'm sure it'll be okay. I can't make this window any bigger, so that's what we're stuck with. But here it is, Jumper, made in 2004. It does, the binary of the file hasn't been changed, so it still contains certain people's dead names. So we'll just overlook that. This is Maddy Thorson's creation. The year 1888, scientists began an experiment to make a super soldier, but what they unwittingly set loose was a terror beyond imagination. Ogmo. And if you're not familiar with this before, well, we'll get to it. They never finished Ogmo. Fast forward 116 years, Ogmo awakes in the buried lab. Wait, 116 years from the First World War is like 2040 or something. Okay. Now the window changes size between cutscenes and gameplay, but that's okay. It looks like it's still capturing fine, which is good. Oh, also, you may have noticed during the intro cutscene a bit of a homage to Super Metroid. If you listen really closely, and I hope you can hear this with the volume levels the way they are, whenever I jump, I'm pretty sure that's Samus's spin jump noise. Anyway, Ogmo's ability is that he can double jump, and that's what we need to know. Now, if you've played Celeste at all, you'll know that there's green crystals that recharge your air dash during a jump. This is the origin of that, is those arrows, and it works pretty similarly. Except Ogmo can just double jump. So this is the tutorial. It just teaches you about the basic game concepts. There's bounce pads in Celeste as well. Of course, in the Pico 8 Celeste Classic, it wasn't green crystals, it was balloons. Depending on time, I might decide to play through Celeste Classic. I did it already because it's contained within the full game of Celeste, the retail release, which I was playing. Oh, cursor on screen, that's unprofessional. So I've just played through that myself over the last week or so. Whoops. And I'm pretty proud of how well I did. I got all the strawberries, I did all the B-sides. Have not done the C-sides. But when it got to a certain point in the DLC chapter Farewell, I kind of lost patience with it when they started requiring wave dashing. So I might go back with assist mode on, maybe. But yeah, for now I'm done with like the regular playthrough of Celeste. No, she's still out there. Would you mind like moving that curtain? It's blowing in the wind. Thank you. Okay, we have Mateo in chat who says N a trenchant point because N, as I said before, was released mere weeks after Jumper and was itself a very successful Canadian-made hardcore platformer. Why did that turn around in midair like that? Why did it do that? So this is as far as I've played. I don't know what's coming up next in Jumper, but I know it's going to be pretty tricky. Ooh, nice. Our cat does like to eat grass. So red electricity is safe. Yellow will kill you. Oops. Yes. Oh! The pause when the music was starting up again threw me. Oh! Whoa, really? Oof. Ah. So I don't have many notes written for this stream in terms of like research and stuff. So it's pretty much just going to be me playing this game, making gamer noises, just chilling. Oof. Wait, what is this? A switch turns off the electricity, just like the fuse boxes in Farewell. I'm going to compare this constantly to Celeste because it's there. The comparisons are there. Oh, I see. Get the platforms in the right position and then turn it off. Oh! N's really good, by the way. If you haven't played N++, I highly recommend it. Although I went looking for it on PSN recently and couldn't find it. But maybe it was just hard to search for. The precursor to N++, which is N+, was released on DS, PSP, and Xbox 360. There were DLC like level packs released on 360 that weren't on the other platforms. But DS has a fun feature where one screen shows like a zoomed in view of the way the graphics normally look, and then there's a zoomed out view with simplified graphics that looks kind of cute. I think that was an interesting way to handle it. Oh, what? Oh, it pushed me off. That was weird. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Something about N. Looking forward to what they do next. I checked out their website the other day. Here you go, the death counter at the end. Celeste does that too. And yeah, I approve of their of their cat positive views. As a studio. That's MetaNet, by the way, that I'm talking about. Of course, Maddy has like a studio now where she's brought together her collaborators to make extremely okay games, which is a fun name. When I went to play Celeste, I had it installed on my PS5, and whoa, yeah, I should have looked ahead for that. When I launched it, it had not been updated to include Farewell at that point, and it didn't have the extremely okay games at that point either. But it's all there now, so I can confirm that the console version of Celeste does have up-to-date terminology. Unlike Jumper. Cool. Oh yeah, full screen. I'm not gonna do full screen because then I can't see the chat. Oh no, I messed up. I did it again. You gotta get that upward jump through the arrow. It's the same in Celeste. You gotta dash through the crystals sometimes to make sure you get the most out of them. Oops. So, what is it with video games and having you escaping a lab? It's a really common premise for a game. Is it just because the pretense of mad science experiments give you license to have any kind of level design make some kind of sense in the fiction? That's what I needed to do. Because, like, the obvious example is Portal, but Gordo 106, the Atari Lynx game where you play as a monkey. What's this about? I gotta drop the box on... Okay, I just stop it further over here and then I can push it. Cool. I'm glad I can push the block in midair. Done. Oh boy. When you're confronted with a complete screen-wide electrical grid, it's a little intimidating, but it leads you pretty well. And death teaches you as well. That's why I almost never use the binoculars in Celeste. You're supposed to be able to see forward in the level and plan out what you're going to do. But I think the levels are really good about telegraphing through level design what they want you to do far enough in advance that you're able to react to it. And, like, I'm not ready to process an entire level from the start anyway, so I just master it bit by bit through deaths. And that works perfectly well. Maybe it takes longer. But I've really enjoyed Celeste. I think it's fantastic. I now see why everybody was raving about it a few years ago. Which all the more made me want to come back and revisit some of Maddy's earlier games. She's got other games there on her website, as you might have seen. The robot one that I forget the name of. Give Up Robot. But yeah, what I'm focusing on today is this direct lineage of hardcore platformers that starts with Jumper. Although, to be fair, I didn't look into them that much. I started by taking the start point and the end point, which is Jumper and Celeste Classic 2, without really spending too much time looking into Money Seas or Give Up Robot. So I don't really know what they're about. They're probably similar. But I was also interested in seeing Ogmo's game because Ogmo is featured in Super Meat Boy, and we'll get to that later. That's part of the plan for today. I didn't mention it before among the other official Jumper games, but Ogmo was featured as a guest in Super Meat Boy, with an acknowledgement of their similarities. The game Super Meat Boy calls Ogmo a ripoff, even though, as I said, Ogmo predates Meat Boy by 4 years. So it's just a little joke. But it is remarkably similar in character design. They're both red squares, which, you know, is a simple enough thing. But I covered last week where Meat Boy's design comes from, to some extent. I've been talking about it more on the Game Club Discord. But, like, when John McEntee approached Edmund McMillan with a gameplay prototype for Meat Boy, called Vertigo at the time, it was just a red square. I don't know how he arrived at that. Maybe he was inspired by Ogmo, but it was just a simple red square at that time. And then Edmund saw that and said, I kind of have an idea for a character that's like a red square. And that was Meat Ninja, who has a ninja mask and a visible skeleton. It was tweaked a bit to become Meat Boy, whose skeleton is a bit less visible. And then by Super Meat Boy, no skeleton at all. But Meat Ninja comes back in Super Meat Boy and Forever, but as a different kind of character. Not very similar to that original conception. Wow, this might be our first wall here. Stage 3-4. I wonder what Sylvie has to say about this one. The thing about Sylvie's review is it goes super in-depth. It covers every single level and what she thinks is interesting about them, which is really cool. Oh boy. What the heck was that? Also, how am I supposed to get up onto that platform? Oh, I get over there and then I hit that switch and then I go back. Okay, I can do that. See, that was me not even looking ahead in a single screen to see what was coming up because I wasn't there yet mentally. And that's why I don't use the binoculars. Dang it. Alright, to rest my fingers for a second. Oh, by the way, on Maddy's website, certain of these games have warnings about things. So there's a content warning for Jumper and Jumper 2 that ableist language exists in them. We haven't seen any of it yet, but just be aware that it might come up in future as we proceed. Okay. Stage 3-4 is probably the most iconic and notorious level in the game, says Sylvie. Aside from being rather long, I think what makes it so difficult is the level of control you need to have over Ogmo. For example, in the horizontal sections at the top and bottom, it's not enough to just hold right and time your jumps. You need to start and stop to collect each arrow, while also making sure you jump early enough to avoid landing in the electricity. It takes a lot of practice to get it into muscle memory. I think this level also exemplifies the kind of design that Jumper was allowed to pull off by moving away from lives and continues. It's extremely precise and technical, and it feels exhilarating to execute perfectly. I think my first completion took over 100 deaths. It would be a nightmare in a game where losing 5 lives sends you back to the start of the world. And this is something I've been saying for a long time. Lives suck. But especially when you start ramping up the difficulty with this kind of thing, you need to eliminate lives. Ugh, the music cue. Oops. Oops. I'm just gonna say oops a lot, don't worry about it. There's more arrows than you'd ever need. You can skip some. Or rather, you pass through some. Also, I don't know what Sylvie's talking about by needing to pause in each space up the top. I just held right and jumped at the right time and got through it. It was fine. Also, notice the devious little trap here. Each arrow is in the middle of the square, except for that last one, which is shifted to the right slightly. Although, I feel like with the hitbox and stuff, and the times that I'm jumping, it's not such a big deal. Okay. Oh, really? That's another thing I realized when playing Vertigo, was the weird hitbox on Meat Boy or on Red Square at the time. They really tweaked it before the final release of Meat Boy. And Ogmo's hitbox here reminds me of the Vertigo hitbox a little bit. It's nowhere near as bad as that, to be clear. Since I sort of gave up on playing Farewell, I've just like half an hour ago watched, or an hour at this point, I watched a speed run of the whole chapter, and my gosh, it's incredible what people can do when they put the practice in. But they also have a highly advanced technique where they duck while air dashing, which reduces the size of their hitbox and lets them pass through smaller gaps. And Maddy has, in Farewell, accounted for speedrunner tricks and designed levels such that you can skip certain parts of them if you do really fancy techniques like that. So there's little shortcuts that you can get through spike gaps in certain levels, in certain screens, which is pretty cool. For speedrunners, not really going to come up for the rest of us. You kidding me? Come on. Alright. So, yeah, I'm okay spending a lot of time on this one because I've tried out Jumper 2 and 3, and for various reasons, they're not as comfortable for me to play, which I will cover later. And just the purity of Jumper 1 is a really it's in its favor. It's just you and straight up level design, which, like, Jumper 2 introduces really early on like more advanced techniques for moving around that I found very difficult to do. So I am getting into it a little bit now, never mind. And that reminds me of Farewell, because at a certain point you get to the wave dash section and you just can't proceed at all unless you have picked up this really wacky technique. It feels like it's very different to the rest of the game. And that's the feeling I got when I went from Jumper 1 to Jumper 2. It was too much for me, which is not to say that the game's badly designed or it's not going to be a good progression for anyone else, but that's how I felt about it. But now that I've remembered that assist mode exists, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do Celeste farewell the rest of it. Oh. With those options on, because that's why they exist, to help people experience the game regardless of their ability, whatever that means for you. Oh my gosh, that's it. Oh, you turned the whole thing off, thank goodness. I thought it would turn off some of them and then I would have to still do really difficult jumps, but that's it. That's great. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay, stage 3, 5. Oh. Huh? Oh, there's another one. Oh, okay, so if I push this along, then the other one will land on top. That's it. Okay, so now we just do this. Oh, close one. Yeah. So this is kind of... Playing this is more of a big deal for me than I thought originally on reflection, because I've played and enjoyed N. I've played and enjoyed I Want to Be the Guy. Oops. I've now, you know, played and enjoyed Meat Boy. And for all of them, I get to a point where the game is too much for me and I have to stop. And that's okay. That's the way the games are designed, I feel. Like at N, you can move around between lots of different level sets. There's no barrier. Well, I think you unlock some. I don't remember going from N to N plus to N plus plus, but basically there's a lot of space for you to try different level sets. Oops. For Meat Boy, you don't need to do all the levels to proceed. And I did every level and got every bandage in the original Meat Boy, but for the map pack, I got to the end of medium and into difficult, and I said no thank you, and I stopped. As for I Want to Be the Guy, I got to the final boss and I never beat it. And I've kind of regretted that. What? I don't get that. I obviously need to go further along before I jump. Yeah, I've regretted that for years, but I'm kind of coming to terms that it's okay to stop whenever you want in one of these kind of games. So I'm glad that Celeste has options for continuing past that point by changing parameters. But anyway, yeah, so I've played those games, and those are like the big names in this space of these like hardcore quick retry platformers. But Jumper is one that for some reason I sort of overlooked, and it's definitely worth investigating in that space, so I'm glad I'm getting to play it now. Or getting around to it, rather. So Gibbon says that we're getting into levels that require some setup now, I see. Yeah, some of them are a bit more puzzly than others, that's for sure. Yeah, when the block reverses its motion, your position shifts slightly and you can get caught out. So yeah, that's a bit tricky. So do you think they're using Samus's jump sound here, Gibbon? Yeah, so just wait till it goes further to the right, because you'll hit your head on that block otherwise. Oh my gosh, what's this all about? Oh boy. Yeah, she says it sounds similar, I agree. Oops. I don't know if it's the same sound. The song in the intro was definitely out of Super Metroid. So I did look up something about Kaizo Mario to answer my own question about when that was around. And it led me to Glitch Cat's like incredibly well researched write-up about the topic. And yeah, it's fascinating stuff, because thanks to like third-party hacking tools, we know that there have been these really diabolical fan-made level sets in Mario games since 1986. They were creating new levels in Super Mario Brothers on the Famicom and sharing them somehow. And that continued over the years, but I think when quote-unquote Kaizo Mario really became well-known internationally was with Super Mario World ROM hacks in 2007. So again, in terms of like widespread recognition, Jumper predates that too. And I've played a Kaizo hack on here before. It was about a year ago when I did the Birdo Games showcase. Yeah, the one called Kaizo Mario, which gave it the name. Yeah, exactly. Gibbon says. And that the one called Kaizo Mario wasn't made till about 2007 or something. It's a lot more detailed than that. I do recommend Glitch Cat's write up on it. What was I saying? Yeah, so like that Birdo one was really interesting. And I played it with save states, which is a valid way to play these if you choose to. Like, it's where your skill level is at and your preference. So yeah, I did want to say that Kaizo Mario is kind of a weird misnomer because Kaizo is... I've actually covered this when I played the Shibibin Man Shockman games because they use the same term in Japanese just as part of the lore. Kaizo Chojin Shibibin Man. Kaizo just means like reconstructed or something like that. I'm not sure of the exact definition, but it's, as far as I know, it was just used as a reference to how the game was a ROM hack. It's not a word that means that it's hard or that it's cruel to the player or anything like that. But that's what the word has come to mean in English as a loan word. Now, you see people playing Pokemon custom challenges called Ironmon, and there's a variant of that called Kaizo Ironmon, and it's called Kaizo because it's harder than regular Ironmon. Yeah, and that's just because of the Kaizo Mario hacks that's what that word means now in English within the subculture. Come on, no, stupid block. Why do I affect a block? It should push me out of the way. Maybe I wouldn't like that. Oh, nuts. You gotta go really as soon as you grab that arrow so you can get the height for the next one. No. It's tough. That's the point. How many levels are there in this game anyway? Just gonna quickly check Sylvie's review. Looks like there's 7 sectors. Let's see what she says about this level. Okay. Finally, we have some more annoying moving platform jumps, but this is no big deal after 3-4. That's all she says about this one. It's not as famous as 3-4, that's for sure. But it's what I'm stuck on right now. Nah. Yes, that was it. Okay, now do this and then this. Easy peasy. Uh-oh, what have I done? Oh, now the platform moves all the way across, so it's fine. I thought we could skip the first blue platform with a double jump, but we didn't need to. You're joking. See what I mean? The platform, when it reverses direction, it can move you slightly. Okay. And that's the end of Sector 3. Not too bad. 127 deaths. Okay. Tip. Things will get pretty insane from here on. Now for the hard part. Oh, now we're getting to the hard part. Okay, I see. Also, have a listen. This is 100% just a Super Metroid song. That's cool. If you can't compose music, just rip it off. Why not? I don't mind at all. Yeah. Of course, later Maddy would work with talented composers to create original music for her games, but at this point, that wasn't in the cards. Although actually, I should double check. All of Maddy's games distributed on Maddy Makes Games come with a text file in the thing. So for this one, it says Jumper, released February 11th, 2004 as freeware, made in Game Maker by Maddy Thorson. So she's obviously got up-to-date credits within those text files, if not changed in the games themselves. So yeah, it's made solo by her and her alone at this stage. Oops. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Okay. As the tip said, things will get insane. So, I don't know, viewer, where you got to in Celeste before you had to throw in the towel. But I'm pretty proud of making it through the whole game. A couple of times I had to look up where a strawberry or a crystal heart was, but then I got it. And, like, there's two factors to that. Finding where something is and then actually executing the movements and stuff that you need to do to get it, which often is the hard part. So I'm good at games, I promise. Oops. I'm just not speedrunner good. I kind of got annoyed at Farewell, to be honest. When I was stuck on, like, the third screen in the wave dashing chapter for a long time. And it just felt like the game wasn't being made with my kind of... with me in mind as its intended audience anymore, but rather with speedrunners in mind. But that's fine. I have become sanguine about it. And it was entitled to expect a game to be just for me. Although, to be fair to me, up till that point, I feel like it had been a fair challenge at my skill level until the wave dashing bit. But it's okay for a game to get harder over its runtime. Yeah. Gibbon is on my side here. She says that she definitely got that vibe from Farewell, way too much for me. But you did get up to that point. That's something to be proud of. Bah. This is a tough screen. What's the time? Can I move on yet? No, I am bound to play this game for a bit longer. I don't know if I'll get to the end. Probably not. Yeah, she did it. Congratulations. Not 100% of collectibles up to that point, but you did get there. Oops. There are actually certain points where it cuts you off unless you have enough hearts, but getting them isn't too difficult if you look up where they are. Strawberries is never required for anything. I just thought they were a fun extra challenge that I enjoyed engaging with. So, oh great. Okay, cool. Oh. I didn't need to grab the first one. Oh boy. Okay, we'll go back. No, I have to do it again. It's okay, I've done it once. That means it'll be trivial to do it a second time. That's not how these work. What's your favorite game set in a mad science lab, Gibbon, and why is it Portal 2? Oof. And why is it Gordo 106, the escaped lab monkey on Atari Jaguar? Or Lynx, rather. What else? There's got to be more of them. There definitely are. There's a million indie ones post the release of Portal inspired a lot of that. Even Edmund Macmillan had one, Spewer, on the Basement Collection. That's set in a science lab. And it's the last game to use the Meat Boy art style, not counting Super Meat Boy. I looked that up the other day. Because there's a reference in the earlier This Is a Cry for Help collection that the art style of Guppy, an unreleased game he was working on, was reused in Death Card 2000, and then again in Meat Boy. He said, I'm going to use it again in further games to be released in 2009. I think it only ended up being in one game in 2009, which is Spewer. Because his output kind of slowed down at that point. He released a lot of games in 2008. By 2009, there were less coming out, but probably because he was working on Super Meat Boy and then Binding of Isaac, which kind of overtook... Oh, no! Oof. Yeah. Oh well. And then Gibbon was telling me about The End Is Nigh, and I was like, oh, I should check that out. But looking at the trailer, I sort of suddenly felt very tired of games that make you die all the time. But then I went and played Celeste anyway, so what the hell am I talking about? The other thing that gave me pause was that it's published by Nicholas, and I'm, as much as I can, trying not to support them. But I might still get it if it's on sale or something. I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. And after today, when I'm done with Jumper and Celeste Classic 2, I'll try out assist mode for Farewell, and then I can move on from that whole style of game in general for a while, because I think I've... Wait, what? My second jump didn't come off. Oh man. Yeah, I think I've done a lot of them in a short space and burned myself out, so that's fine. Yeah. Well, if you can't think of something, that's fine. Okay, I'll threaten you with this. If you don't think of something, I have a bunch of Donkey Kong fan games planned. Because we found some more. Our friend Julius unearthed a lost fan game that he and his brother made. And his brother worked on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, so he's an official Donkey Kong developer, which gives this much more legitimacy. Gibbon is saying, what is she saying? My brain keeps going, say Clue Land, but I feel like you'll just blow through that. I don't know. I think Clue Land is pretty tough. Plus, I've got 2 full games to play there, because I can play Clue Land, and then I can play Clue Land D. The kind of extra set of levels, which first existed in the Versus Clue Land arcade version. And then the D version is like what was... it was in Animal Crossing or something. It exists as a NES, although I think it was Play Choice 10. I don't remember. There's 2 kind of Clue Land things, so I could fill a Clue Land stream. If I have to turn to WarioWare to do it, WarioWare Smooth Moves has a 3D Clue Land minigame, which is pretty interesting too. And then if I'm still running short on time, I can load up multiplayer in King of Swing. I'll have to get a completed save file because I don't have bubbles unlocked, I believe. That was very clever. I like that level. Moving your shadow around like that. It's pretty cool. Oh, flashing lights warning if you're sensitive on this screen. It's quite rough. Oh, there's more? Okay, Versus Clue Land / Welcome to New Clue Land has different levels to the first NES game. And Gibbon says she'd forgotten about D. I thought D was the same as the Versus New Clue Land whatever thing. But I might be wrong. If that's what you're picking, I'll do the research, trust me. I'll get into it. It'll be great. Clue Land is great because Bubbles is a girl and nobody knows that. Also, she's a fish. Even though she's just a sphere with arms and legs. It's a weird kind of fish, if you ask me. I guess, like, lungfish have arms and legs, don't they? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the axolotl, which apparently is how you pronounce axolotl in its native Mexican. Oh, come on. Well, it's presumably from an older, like, South American native word. Oops. A balloon fish, okay. Further cementing the connection between Clue Land and Balloon Fight and Ice Climber. I always thought if they made a new game, they should combine those 3 into one, because they're all these similar, like, one-off experimental things from the NES era that have a really cool hook to them. And they already did it in Brawl with the Ice Climber stage that has Balloon Fight stuff in it as well. It's got the fish. And they put some music tracks from Balloon Fight in there. Well, of course. You're right, Clue Land is a Zelda prequel because it does have rupees in it. They're literally like the same sprite, if not just very similar. But the Unira enemies are also in the Zelda instruction manual, at least the English version, not sure about the Japanese one. Oh, what is it? Digdogger is said to be like an Unira from Clue Land or something like that. I might have misremembered the connection there. This is the same instruction manual that also says that Manhandler is a piranha plant from Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, I just don't remember how explicit it is about it. So yeah, I'll play Clue Land, and then I'll play through the Hyrule Fantasy, both Famicom Disk System and NES versions. And then I'll play BS Zelda, just because it fits thematically. And I'll fit that all in one stream easy. Don't worry about it. Okay. God, I haven't played Zelda 1 in... I've never actually beaten it. I played BS Zelda, and that's the most I will ever commit to, because that game is trash garbage. I don't enjoy Zelda 1. I played the third quest hack that just puts the map 3 like Satellaview map dungeon maps into like a traditional format thing, so it doesn't have the voice acting and the time limits and stuff. But the true experience of playing BS Zelda with the time limits and the voice acting and the events and everything is a really cool and interesting way to experience that kind of game. Nuts. Especially after fans did like a fan dub of the radio broadcast voices which accompany the events. Really adds a lot to the experience. It's really interesting. Plus they stream in music as well, so there's like orchestrated and like different genre versions of Zelda songs in there, because they just broadcast the audio over satellite instead of packing it into the game in MIDI format or whatever. There's this really nice like synth pop version of the Zelda theme with like a robotic voice telling you the plot in the background. It's pretty cool. Alright, we're here again. That's good. Now the hard part. What? I think my feet left the block and then I double jumped or something. Sometimes I don't have the second jump when I expect to. And it's because I waited too long to jump. Yeah, I agree. There should be more than just, as you say, Clue Land, D, King of Swing, and Jungle Climber, and a WarioWare minigame. Not microgame, a full minigame. But yes, it also has microgames. Was Clue Land in any of the NES remixes? I don't know, but then she says it was. Oh, cool. Yeah, I wonder. A lot of those are just like mini challenges within the games, but when you get to the remixes, and there's sadly not enough of them in a game called NES Remix that really change things up in an interesting way, that's when things get cool in those games to me. Oops. Like making Link play through 25 meters in Donkey Kong or whatever. That's just fun and cool. Or when they have crazy graphical filters over it and stuff. Only in the first NES remix, that's too bad. Did it have any interesting remix modes? I haven't really touched NES remix. I don't know that. Is Minna still outside? I would have thought it'd be a bit cold for a cat to be outside that long today. Especially one that's such a homebody as ours, but she loves going outside. Nuts. Yeah, I would argue that there's sort of variations of Clue Land. Like, so I played this classic Mac game back in the day on my friend's computer. It was called Spin Doctor, and you controlled a little bar that rotated from side to side, and you connect to different nodes to get around these little puzzle maps. And that sounds pretty similar to Clue Land to me. So there are examples of indie things that are similar. I guess if you really squint, something even like coulda in, which observant listeners will know has the same Japanese onomatopoeia, because Clue Land is directly transliterating the Japanese onomatopoeia kudu for spinning around. So would you say that could in the 3 games that exist, there's 2 on the GBA and 1 on the GameCube, are they similar enough to Clue Land to satisfy you? I would say no. I think they're pretty different in gameplay. But look up Spin Doctor. Like fellow classic Mac game Glider, it got a phone version at some point, but that's probably dead now too. I think it did. Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. I can hear the music fading out, so I'm just going to wait for it to loop before I head off into that difficult section. Come on, there we go. Okay, so I jump first. Oh no! See, that time I jumped too early. Or I didn't move far enough. I'll get there, maybe. What's the time? I might not get there. I said I would spend an hour on this. And if you ever get to the end of this, there's like an incredibly long section that's an actual boss fight where like a big spaceship or something is like flying around and you gotta jump around and... What the heck? I guess I'm just leaving it too late every time and I do a double jump. Oops. Spin Doctor, yeah. As far as I can recall, that was the name of it. An old classic Mac game. See if it's on Moby Games, if you can stand the new interface. They completely changed how Moby Games looks, and I think it's worse. Oh, it's probably because they were bought by whatever bloody holding company. Who was it? Was it like GameSpot or something? Bought Moby Games? Yeah, Gibbon totally agrees. She was just on Moby Games and it's bad. Yeah, like someone bought them last year or a couple of years ago or something. And then I guess they just wanted to make it ugly for some reason, and then they did. Spin Doctor definitely has classic Mac game vibes, she says. Do you want to do it now?
Are you kind of busy?
Yeah, I am. Maybe she'll be a bit sleepier when I finish, yeah. Yeah, it's very hard to clip Minna's claws when she's awake, fully awake. She will not stand being held and handled in that manner. Trick is you gotta get her when she's in a down mode. Feeling lazy. And then you're like, scoop, you're mine. And then you get out the special scissors and you go snip, snip, snip. One person needs to be holding her while the other person does the clipping though. I've tried doing it on my own. It's not easy. And then afterwards, she gets a special treat of dried sardines. Because that's how it works. What happened there? Did the box fall before I'd done my jump off it? Nah. Okay. We've got to do this. Well, I don't have to. Nobody's forcing me to do anything, but these red circles are kind of hurting my eyes. It's not as bad as another game I played recently. Pixel Junk Eden. A game with color schemes so bold that they never failed to cause me eye strain during a session. Pixel Junk Eden is really interesting, and it looks very striking, but it legitimately caused me pain, which is one of the few games to have done so. I think it's in a rare club of games that have caused me physical distress that I still kind of love anyway, and Cryptid the Necrodancer is another one of those. In the area of my hands, in that case. Oops. Have you tried out Pixel Junk Eden 2, Gibbon? Because I'll tell you right now, please avoid it. They changed it and it sucks. I really don't like the sequel at all. I had mixed feelings on the first one, but I liked it a lot better after I played the sequel. Yeah. If you want kind of a preview of what it's going to be like, you might be able to play the phone version, but I'm not sure if your devices will support it. So there's a game called Eden Obscura on phone that they kind of just reused everything from it to make something that they call a sequel to Pixel Junk Eden, but it's like, it's still got all the mobile game stuff in it, like the gacha system and the randomized content, but it's actually worse to play than on the phone because you only have 2 jumps, whereas on the phone you have like a whole bunch of swipes that you can do to get around. Yeah, okay, cool. Gibbon says she doesn't remember specifically what it was, but remembers taking a look at it and being turned off hard. Good, good. I just didn't want you to get all invested and spend money on the sequel and then be disappointed, because that's exactly what happened to me. Please avoid my pain. Ugh! Alright, we've passed the hour mark. I'm going to call it there. Once again, we've reached the point where I'm kind of at my limit and want to move on. I could probably do that if I kept playing it, and I wouldn't mind it so much, but for the purposes of this stream, I'm gonna show some other things now. So that was Jumper, really cool stuff. What I'm gonna play now is Jumper Redux, which actually came out after Jumper 2, but it's a probably good time to showcase it right now. Released January 3rd, 2005, made by Maddy Thorson, Mocha Man, and B-Baller in Game Maker. So yeah, this like enhances the presentation of it quite a bit. You can play like, well, what does original look like? I haven't checked that. I'll just skip the cutscene. Oh wow! See, look at that. There's like a plot now in the game because they added that one little room. Otherwise, the tutorial looks identical. So, oh, what? You can change the color of Ogmo by pressing the function keys. I didn't know that. Redux mode is quite different. Given is scrolling through all the remix stages to check for Clue Clue Land stuff. See, this doesn't have the 116-year thing. It establishes it in 2004, the release date of the original game. But yeah, this is like Redux mode for Jumper 1 that kind of adds in new stuff, refreshes the graphics, and essentially makes it feel like a whole new game in that way. Yeah, so there's other things here like the stars to reverse your controls. There's another star on a screen coming up that takes away your double jump, which, hey, isn't that just a lot like Celeste's Chapter 8 core? Yeah, which I would just make that comparison because why not? Yep, there it is, the gray star. I think removes your ability to jump at all, actually. But that's okay because we have these bounce blocks. And there's that new animation, and yeah, so it's just amped up a lot of stuff from the original Jumper has the original experience there plus new stuff. Now this is still on Maddy's website, but it's not featured as one of the main games on that list. Instead you have to scroll to the bottom, and there's a like collection of games called Oldies But Goodies, I think it's called, where she's just put together like a bunch of older and smaller projects, sub Jumper level things that she's worked on, and Jumper Redux is in there. You just have to buy it. You'd have to just download it in that whole package. It's free. I think like Mario Wiki might have a list of all the stages and what they are in NES Remix and what games they cover, so that might help save you some time maybe. Oops. There's one remix stage that features Cuckoo Land, and it's just another complete the pattern challenge. That's boring. Oops. I missed the one important box at the end. Oh, okay. I don't even know why this is called Jumper Redux if there's so much original content in the Redux mode. That's an odd choice. Like, this could just be Jumper 3, essentially. Except that they went and remade all the original stages in the new engine or whatever. Anyway, that was just a quick showing off of that. Let's move on to the real sequel. Jumper 2. Jumper 2, June 18, 2004. Window captured. Yes. No? No, that didn't work. Because that's the wrong window. There's the right one. Made in Game Maker by Maddy Thorson. Content warning. This game contains ableist language the author now considers harmful. So there's a stronger warning against that in this one, which is very admirable to have that. For the week. She's certainly changed how she addresses accessibility modes as of Celeste. I was reading about that today, how the half coordinated guy and Kathy EJ and Clint Lexa sort of helped her improve the language around that in the game when they added the assist mode. A bonus stage also has Klukeland, and it is also another fill in the Platinum Challenge. That's too bad. Anyway, we'll just do normal. And I'll show you why I didn't get on with Jumper 2. So first you gotta click on the stage. Now, what's really interesting about it is it's got more of a theme to it with this whole ancient ruins thing or whatever, the torches, there's atmosphere here, it's cool. There's these tip things which come up in a separate window which you can't see because they're not being captured. But it's telling you how to complete this screen, and I spent like 10 minutes on this screen and couldn't do it, so the point where I wanted to stop with these games, like I said, it's different for every game. In this case, it was the first screen that I didn't want to proceed any further, because to beat the first screen... Oh, I did it! I was never able to do that before. You have to run. As you run, you build up speed, and you start going faster. And then if you go in the opposite direction, there's a little skid of dirt that you see come out. At that point, you jump, and you can do a higher jump, and that's a skid jump. So, just like with Farewell, they're front-loading this advanced technique and expect you to master it real quick. And I was not able to do it at all, but hey, here we go. We've gone a little bit further. So what's this about? these are gems. There's one hidden in each stage. It's optional. So this is the origin of strawberries. Oops. See, I've already screwed myself. So I'm not checking all of them because presumably some of them are telling me mechanics I already know, like the golden arrow thing. Oops. But yeah, I've never got this far in Jumper 2. I can't believe I cleared the first screen. I expected to be stuck on it for another few minutes and then just leave, but here we are. Ooh. But yeah, I like how this one has changed up the theme, and yeah, I don't know, otherwise it seems pretty similar. I don't really like the new running system where you build up speed. With Jumper, like I said, it was a purer kind of engine where when you run, that's the speed you run. But now you have to worry, you have to think about how fast you are running, and that changes, and yeah, I don't know. Okay, ice platforms. Oh, interesting. Gibbon has pointed out that the symbols in the background of the walls are changing every time I die. I did not notice that. Oops. I wonder if that is significant in any way. Remember when we played Super Kiwi 64, we had to make note of the symbols on the walls and enter them as codes. Gibbon is noting that this is much more in line with Celeste. Seems way more Celeste, she says. So the progression is obvious. Yeah, the addition of those optional things, which is something that Meat Boy did as well, by the way. And again, this is 2005, so we're still 3 years before Meat Boy. But we're seeing more things that it does, including wall jumping. Coming in first here in the Jumper games by Maddy Thorson. Good stuff. Okay, so obviously I need to leave... Nope. I need to leave some so I can still walk on them. Or try and get rid of them all. No, I wouldn't be able to get back. Ah. Well, I don't think I should spend too long on this one because I didn't expect I was going to, so I sort of budgeted my time such that I would also have time to play Celeste 2 at the end. But at least we noticed a few things here that show the formula advancing in interesting ways. Gibbon has done a scanlation and has uploaded it to Mangadex and is refreshing the page. Yeah, congrats on that, by the way. I think it turned out really well. I haven't done an in-depth proofread of it like you asked me to, but it's too late now. I'm sorry. I haven't had much time for anything. Ah, oh, come on. Yeah, alright, let's stop at this screen. Yeah, that's fair enough. Even if there's some mistakes, people won't mind, really. Yeah, but it takes a little bit whenever I put something up on there. It's not instant. Alright, I'm going to show you a little bit of Jumper 3 now. Jumper 3 is really interesting. For one thing, it has controller support. For another, its screen size is much larger. Oh, you started on the next chapter already. Can you remind me what the name of the manga is so I can plug it right now? Jumper 3, released August 20, 2008 as freeware, made by Maddy Thorson in Game Maker. It's called Nari Yuki Dungeon. If you're interested, it's a spin-off of a larger series of something. Sequel to Ozanari Dungeon. Thank you. Alright. So, yeah, after the previous game, Ogmo escaped the lab, but then he was taken to another lab, and then he escaped that. I don't know what happened in Jumper 2, but now he's in a rocket ship. Oh, he found a robot and he made friends with it, and then he got in a rocket ship that went to a different planet. So continue. No, new game. So here's the background. Sorry about that. I muted my microphone so I could blow my nose, but I didn't realize that by clicking the mute button, it left the priority of that window. So the cutscene recognized that it wasn't in priority, so it didn't advance the cutscene. Anyway, 2,387 years later, we finally found another planet that Ogmo can call home. So that's nice. And that is the premise for Jumper 3. Now, another new thing about Jumper 3, apart from having a weird control scheme, is that you cannot use the D-pad. It has controller support, but it doesn't let you use the D-pad to move. And this is like a huge pet peeve of mine. Luckily, I have a Joy-to-Key profile that can get around this, hopefully. That should work. Hopefully I don't end up with any weird issues. But, yeah, that's good. So, yeah, it starts simple, but it's obviously going to get hard as we progress. But yeah, I like the setup or the presentation of this, how you're like... It shows you the screen before you start, and you're advancing through like a place that feels more like a real space because it's like this outdoor setting, which is nice for your immersion, etc. But it has such a different feel to the previous Jumper games. You should be able to tell just from how it looks and stuff. And of course the skid jump is here too. Returning from Jumper 2. Not my favorite. But I guess the big new gimmick of this one is that you get new Ogmos. So this is where that's introduced, because you can't clear this screen with red Ogmo. So you have to come over here and grab green Ogmo. And this is as far as I played in testing. But green Ogmo has the new ability to... Oops, I pressed the button that is die, apparently. What's the button? Clearly I've got the... hang on a sec. I gotta get a new Joy-to-Key profile that doesn't have these problems. Oops. What is it? Control X. Alright, that'll help. Okay, oops. So green Ogmo cannot double jump, sadly. And moves slower. But has this... What's this? Oh, okay. You can skip ahead. That's nice. Oh, green Ogmo cannot double jump. I will remind myself. But we do have this. A grapple move. Now, it's not as advanced as Umihara Kawase's grapple or bionic commandos even. All it does is advance you to a wall and up against it. But I guess I need a different Ogmo's power to get through those blocks. So yeah, and as you proceed through the game, you'll unlock more and more Ogmos with new abilities. I don't know how many there are or what they do because this is as far as I played. The controller issues were like annoying me too much. And I was going to show it off on stream anyway, so yeah. But that kind of thing, like Celeste had its gimmicks and stuff, but in terms of like giving these new fundamentally different abilities to your protagonist, that's not something it really messed with too much until Celeste Classic 2. So we'll see how that goes soon. This is definitely a job for Red Ogmo. Look at these electricity bars everywhere. So yeah, it's not just like single gems on screens this time. You can optionally like try harder for up to 5 extra coins, but the coins only let you skip stages, I think. Cool. We got up to Sector 2, that's nice. I still don't like the skid jump. Oh. Springs? What is this, Celeste? I'm always on the lookout for more Celeste-isms as we proceed. Oh, another new character, that's lovely. The peach-coloured Ogmo. Calling it pink, that's cool. That fits. So what does Pink Ogmo do? Oh, hovering, oh that's great. Like Cood from Smabex, or from A2XT. Remember that? It's Princess Peach. That's what it actually is. Oh wow, very powerful. More of a hover than Peach had, that's for sure. Or Princess Toadstool, I should say. This is cool. I wonder how quickly it's going to throw new characters at me. Low vertical mobility. Oh, okay. You only have so much hovering, and it doesn't recharge on a wall jump. It recharges on a jump, on a when you land on the ground. You know, like Celeste with the air dash. Sorry, I won't harp on it too much. Celeste is quite good. I think that if you're interested in games like this, you should give it a try. If you're watching this and haven't already played it. But yeah, all this stuff, all the Jumper series, the classic Pico 8 Celeste games, all available for free on maddymakesgames.com. Maddy has 2 D's and a Y. Okay. Low vertical mobility, but insane horizontal mobility on Pink Ogmo. Yeah. Luckily you can just hold it and you don't even need to press it again to do a cool hover. That's great. I read the TV Tropes page on the Jumper series. There's a lot of notes about Jumper 2, probably because it has a more involved plot. Not much about Jumper 3, but what I did glean from that about Jumper 3 is that... Oh, that's a switch. Okay. No? Yes. Okay. Oh, wait, what just happened? I can buy a hat, but I left the screen before it really told me about it, and I missed my chance. That's okay, I don't want hats anyway. Ah, so green Ogmo would be a good choice here. Oh, these blocks show up depending on the color of your Ogmo. Okay. Interesting. So some of them are just locked out of getting certain things. Oh, it's directional, by the way. The grapple. But you have to allow time for it to shoot out, and it only has a certain length. Oop. Yeah, you don't have to go up that way in this one. The green goo might just be there to clue you in. I guess I could try doing this. No? Oh, but I could do this. Oh. You can't really get out of that without just releasing the button and then you fall. So it's pretty tricky. Why didn't that grapple? I don't really understand how Green Ogmo's grapple works. So when I tried them... in practice, like, yeah, it felt kind of weird to control. Okay. So pink is just not allowed. Oh, you could actually get over those blocks. So let's try that. Oh. Oh! I ran out of hover. Okay. There we go. That was easy. Okay. Pink Ogmo is light enough. Oh, there's so many rules with the different Ogmos. Do you think it's a little overcomplicated? It's gonna get more and more complicated as you unlock more Ogmo colors and encounter more gimmicks that affect them in different ways. Blah. Well, we can do this. Oops. Pink Ogmo feels the most like Meat Boy, actually. Because Meat Boy doesn't have a very powerful jump, but has huge horizontal mobility, at least in Super Meat Boy, more so. Okay, I just want to like play until I unlock one more Ogmo, I think, and then we'll move on to playing the Celeste classic games, because, ooh, I don't know, depends on time and how I'm feeling. Like I said, I've played through the original Celeste classic in Celeste, where it's an unlockable extra. So if you've played Celeste, you probably have found and unlocked it yourself, maybe. So the goal of this stream is to show people other games that Maddy has made that you'll find very familiar if you've played Celeste. And if you have played Celeste, I don't need to show you Celeste Classic because you've probably seen it and played it. Okay. Oh, the momentum is just huge. But I love the hovering, it's a great move. Oh no! Frick. That's it, that's what I wanted to do. Just tap it in. Good stuff. Ooh. Only 36 deaths. Alright, now we should be seeing a new Ogmo soon. Alright, let's go red for the double jumps. Easy peasy. Oh wait, we're climbing a mountain now. What is this, Celeste? Yeah, so it's interesting how each level kind of has to be designed around a bunch of different movesets. Oh no, ice physics. That's really yeah, interesting from a game design perspective. Oh boy. Okay. Ah! Surely pink Ogmo can do it. An easy 2-tile jump. It's the ice that's the problem. I bet we're gonna find an Ogmo who's immune to ice. Oh. There's a blue one. Well, the gold arrows have become green. Probably because coins are now gold. Alright, what do we got? Teal Ogmo. Blue Ogmo, okay. I'm overthinking these colors. Blue Ogmo is not affected by ice and can create platforms. Whoa, okay. And ride the platforms and steer them up and down. That's just like Celeste. Huh? What? Oh, I see. You gotta hold it down while you're standing on ground. No. I should have steered it up and down. Yeah, so Celeste has platforms like that too. You can hold onto them and then move them in directions. 3 seconds? 3 seconds? Okay. Wait, hang on a sec. Sorry. Ugh! I was looking at the little map screen in the top right corner, which is not there when I die, apparently. And does that indicate that there's only 4 lots of levels? And I'm actually kind of approaching the end soon? Is that right? Could that be right? Oh boy. No. Yeah, I agree with that. Gibbon says... I don't know, it just seems overly complex. Her other games honing in on one tiny moveset and getting like 250% out of it seem way more pure. I agree. This one seems like it's reaching maybe too far. And additionally, Gibbon says, in Celeste, they're platforms that are placed in the world that have their own simple mechanic set. They're not a whole other character you need to swap to that have a host of other rules associated with them. Yeah, I agree. It's a bit much. Okay, so we're gonna... Whoop. The good thing is, you can cheese things. Oh, you can sometimes cheese things. I wonder if I can do this. Yeah, that works. No, it didn't work! They accounted for it. Alright. Alright. Well, in the interest of time, I said I would get to the next Ogmo, so... yeah, let's move on. Oh yes, now is the time for opening Steam. It's already open. And launching... SMB.
Super Meat Boy.
Okay. Huh? Huh. Oh. Yeah, that's the one I want. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to show you the Ogmo section, the jumper section of Super Meat Boy. You might have already seen it, but I think it's worth including here. It's pretty cool. Okay. Hold on. Joy to key needs to be disabled right now. I did not look up where the warp zone is. Sorry, hold on a sec. Ogmo warp zone. Yeah. Okay, we need to go to the salt factory. And there it is. Let's go. I got all A+ ranks on console. Don't worry about it. I'm good at this game. The Jumpman. Hopefully we get the full cutscene. Yeah, okay. Okay, so they've actually used the Jumper 2 environment here. That's interesting. See, I can recognize this stuff now. So Meat Boy has spotted Ogmo. Ogmo from Jumper. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay, we do still have a run button, it looks like, yeah. But yeah, Ogmo has the double jump. That's his gimmick in Super Meat Boy, and it's very handy in some stages. But like all characters, he doesn't quite have the sense of momentum that that Meat Boy does. That again, it's like just like in Jumper 3, levels are usually designed around Meat Boy, and other characters can do them, but it's not always beneficial to have the extra characters involved. But yeah, I always thought that the extra characters in Super Meat Boy were a really fun addition to it, especially because they've got this sense of collaboration to them in the indie game community. But in this case, it's interesting because it's a way of acknowledging the influences of Super Meat Boy and stuff like that. Like, N, the ninja game, is not present in Super Meat Boy on PC, but if you get all the bandages on console, you actually do unlock them. But they're also included as a Meat Boy variant in the Meat Boy map pack on Flash. Gibbon says, the background symbols aren't changing when I die. 0 out of 10, would not buy. Would not buy Super Meat Boy, huh? I'm sure you've bought Super Meat Boy. I've bought it at least twice. Ah, nuts. Yeah, maybe 3 times, because I got it in a Humble Bundle originally, and then I bought it on Steam, because I think back then the Humble Bundles didn't give you Steam codes, they just gave you the game DRM free, which is nice. They don't do that anymore. And then I bought it on console, yeah. Oh yeah. Gibbon has also bought it multiple times, of course. I wonder why the symbols changed. Interesting. No! I'm gonna do this, because there's another cutscene at the end. Well, there's like a screen that says you unlocked Ogmo. I'm not sure if that's gonna play if I already have Ogmo unlocked, to be honest. Because there's like some fun key art of the guest characters on those screens once you unlock them. Don't know if it shows up the second time. Nuts. Wait a minute. Sorry, a memory is surfacing in my brain of a different jumper game than the one I was playing. Where did that come from? Oh yeah, it's just that screen. And it doesn't show the unlocked screen, that's okay. Here's Ogmo on the character select screen. Oh, Naja. Hello, Naja. Where is he? There. There you go. Double jump, rip-off. So it calls him a rip-off, even though, again, all his games predate Meat Boy. Okay. So that's all for that. Oh. While I'm here, I've just unlocked Super Tofu Boy. Or rather, Tofu Boy the character, who is utterly pathetic and can't do anything. I talked about Tofu Boy in the last stream, of course. Tofu Boy doesn't have an advantage. If you ever somehow manage to complete any level as him, you always get an A+ rank, no matter how badly you did. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to show that off. Okay. Let's play Celeste. Super Celeste. Okay. So, Celeste Classic, Windows PC, OS X, Linux. Released July 21st, 2015 as a free web game. Made by Maddy Thorson and Noel Berry for the Pico 8 Fantasy console. Is it Noel or Noel? There's no dots, so I'm going to say Noel. Okay. Whoa, Celeste Classic on GBA? What is that? Is that a homebrew thing? Alright, so yeah, Pico 8 is a little fake console, a fantasy console, that exists for indie development, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff on it, including this precursor to the retail Celeste. Now, there's not a strawberry on every screen. I completed it with all strawberries, asterisk, when I did this in Celeste itself. And I say asterisk because I unlocked one of them, but accidentally boosted past it and left the screen. And you can't go back a screen in this, so I just went ahead and finished the game. But yeah, maybe I can do it with all strawberries this time. Yeah, so it's a homebrew on GBA, but it's neat having an actual card of it. I wonder, like, is it the same? Is it a good reproduction of it? Did they have to change anything when they went from Pico 8 to GBA? Or is there somehow like a Pico 8 implementation on GBA? Gibbon's saying I'm way better at this than she is, at this kind of game than she is. Thank you for that compliment. I'm always looking for strawberries, you know. I'm all about that life. So here we can see the gold arrows, which were later green arrows, have now been replaced by balloons. And the gems, which became coins, are now strawberries. Gibbon says it's the same as far as she can tell. There we go. Once you get the strawberry, you can die, and that's no problem. In Retail Celeste, you have to like land back on a platform to have the strawberry collect. It's a bit like Rayman Origins Skull Coins. Alright, hopefully this shouldn't take long, and then I can play Celeste Classic 2. So I've played this before recently. But the sequel will be a first time for me. Wait, why is that there? What's going on? What am I doing wrong here? I don't remember this screen. Oops. Okay. According to the creator of Celeste Classic on GBA, it's a recreation. It's almost a direct conversion with minor graphical alterations. Interesting. Why is this here? Is there a secret? Oh well, let's just move on. Oops. So this exists in Retail Celeste as well. This memorial to those who perished on a climb. Ugh. Oh, ride the cloud underneath. That's smart. So that was the intended way, and I skipped it, I guess. Yeah, that's what Gibbon's saying now. You're supposed to ride the cloud across and then jump up through, but I just skipped it because I'm a super elite speedrunner. That's the one! That's the strawberry that I missed on the other version because I jumped off the screen before. Ah, that's annoying. And you have to replay the whole game to do it. And that's why I'm going to end this with 17 strawberries on this run. Oops. So yeah, it's interesting how the mechanics of this were basically intact when they expanded it out. The air dash and everything, and all the individual gimmicks. But they also then expanded a lot from there. Gave you the wall gripping mechanic and just made screens larger and added a lot more complexity and stuff. This definitely exists on its own, and it's great that it's included as an extra, but it's also available for free. And yeah, it's just really fully formed on its own, as well as being a great prototype for what Celeste would become, which is a really excellent game. Given also missed that one strawberry. Yeah, that's probably the most missed one I would expect. Even though it's obvious that it's there, it's very difficult to pick it up. Oh yeah, I remember having this problem on this screen. You just dash to the side, and I was overcomplicating it. And I did it again. What I like about Celeste is that if you die, all the like cycles of elements in the level are set up so that you can instantly start moving and you'll catch the first cycle. You never have to wait when you restart a screen. That's really cool. Okay. Oops. And this is where the game gets cool. So people have asked about Celeste 2 on GBA, but no responses yet. Oh, well I hope they do it if it's a cool thing that you want. Alright. So yeah, this is where Madeline, who I don't think has a name at this point, gets her superpower. to do 2 air dashes, and that's denoted by a glowing green hair. In the final game, or the... I don't know, yeah, I've been calling it like the retail game. This is where Madeline... Well, spoilers. Madeline reunites with the other part of herself, and her hair goes pink, and it gets longer too. And... otherwise, it's identical, yeah. Oh. The screen shake is pretty severe, actually, in this version, now that I'm looking at it. Wait a minute, how do I do that? Two wall jumps? Yeah, that's it. Oh no! There's a Super Mario World Celeste hack, huh? I know there's a lot of custom, like, user-made levels for Celeste, but I didn't know about... What is this? Super Mario World Celeste hack? What does that mean? A Celeste-style ROM hack of Mario World? Is it made by Maddy? Since I knew I was going to play Celeste at some point, I've never watched a speedrun of it or anything, and it's on GDQ all the time. So now that I've played it, I look forward to watching a lot of runs of it, and of various other associated things. Oh, it's not made by her, but there's a link that Gibbon has dropped. I'll just click that. Save that for later. Thank you. And I'm pretty sure that's been featured at GDQ too. No. Am I doing this right? Come on. Every time. Alright, I think what I need to do... No, I am doing this right. I think. I just gotta wait a little bit longer, I think. Which is tough, because the screen boundary's right there. Come on. That was it. It's tough. Okay. No! I need to go straight up then. Nothing in here is as hard as the real Celeste. Or the later Celeste. But sometimes it gets close. No! I gotta jump first off that other wall, I think. So I have enough height. That's it. See, no problem. Done. Okay. Oh, what? It's Spikes hurt you? Who says? No! Hehehe, saved it. Ah, you can't wall slide on the screen boundaries here like you can in Meat Boy. I remember this screen. Oh, yeah. Oops. Yeah, Celeste became very popular in the speedrunning community, and for good reason. Oops. There we go. Wait, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Oh, come on. Woof. Oh, I think I did that the stupid way again. Oh, maybe not. I can skip at least one balloon here. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. Okay, what's the deal? I've got to be near the end, right? Whoops. Oh. Yeah, that was the end. Lovely. Da-da-da, 17, like I said. 151 deaths, 15 minutes. That's quite good for me, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. Gibbon was giving me some advice for the previous screen I was stuck on. Thank you for that. But I did do it eventually. Yeah, like I was saying about Celeste retail, like, no matter how hard it got, I never got frustrated with it, which is saying a lot. Really, go out, buy it, and play it. It's great. And there's assist modes. As far as I know, there's no extra like thing here, screen here. This is the end. Is you got to the top. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is play Celeste Classic 2. Let me read you the description of this from itch.io. A Pico 8 platformer about hiking around a mountain. Made in 3 days for Celeste's 3rd anniversary. It also has the subtitle Lani's Track, which gives us the name of the character we're playing as, which is nice. So yeah, 2021 is the 3rd anniversary, and it's a game by Maddy Thorson, Noel Berry, and Lena Raine, who was the musician for Celeste, I believe, or one of them anyway. Oh yeah, and there's a README file here. Yeah, I already said everything in there. So this is again for the Pico 8, and let's give it a go. This is my first time playing this one. Okay, we don't have a dash. And we have scrolling screens now. This is very... taking a lot of cues from Celeste Retail. Oh, oh no. Oh, this is great. Again, it's really great what they can do with Pico 8. Oh, what's this? A grapple hook. So we're green Ogmo, that's what we are. Okay, so you can grapple any surface as long as you have the right length, but it only goes out in a straight line. You can jump out of a grapple, unlike green Ogmo. Stupid green Ogmo. Interesting. Oh, that's a great way of referring to it. Gibbon has just called the retail Celeste from 2018 Super Celeste. Great way of putting it. And she says that this is more ambitious than Celeste, very much taking cues from Super Celeste. So we can't shoot upwards, unfortunately. I just gotta... yeah. So when you drop, you're facing away from that wall, and Lani's head will actually clue you in on that. Oops! Yeah, I had it there. But you can turn in mid-air to make up for that. Okay. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll get it. Excuse me? Come on. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Oh. Oh, you can jump. Hang on a sec. You can jump during a grapple. Oh, that's great. Gibbon has pointed out that people have noted that Lani and the game as a whole are sporting a non-binary flag color scheme. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't notice that. That would be white, black, yellow, and purple. Is that right? That's great. Love that for them. Yeah. Okay. Strawberry. And they work like in Super Celeste. You have to get back to safe ground before you collect them. Cool. So that's teaching you about that. Oops. Yeah, so probably worth bringing up at this point, having brought up pride flags, the whole trans allegory in Super Celeste. Madeline is trans, and the story behind it is really interesting. Maddy Thorson, the creator of the game, has a sort of editorial piece about it on her website that I recommend checking out. But like, basically, one of the interesting things about that story is that it's something that sort of crept into the game's story while Maddy herself was transitioning, and she didn't like realize when she was in the middle of it that that's what the story was about, sort of. I'm probably butchering the story of how it went down, but yeah, but like it's there, but it's not an explicit part of the text at any point. That's something I love about the story of Celeste. You can read it in a lot of different ways. There's obviously themes about mental health and stuff in there that are really interesting and important. There's really a lot to the story, which is great. Anyway, what I noticed when checking out Farewell, I watched the final cutscene of it as well as watching the speedrun, although I wasn't able to complete it myself before starting the stream. And since Farewell was made after the release of the original game, and like Maddy's had more time to grapple with these things, I guess. You can just spot a little rainbow flag and trans pride flag on Madeline's desk in the final cutscene. Which kind of makes it explicit that that's part of the story. Okay, so we can grab a snowball. Oh, okay. Takes time. Yeah, so you bounce off it when you hold the jump button. This is incredible, this game. Oh! I didn't know you could do that with the springs. Never mind, we don't need it. This is great. I love this. It's very different to the original Pico 8 game. Okay, so we can't grapple those surfaces, but we can do this. Wait, is this a secret screen? It is. There's no way out. There. So there's optional screens in this game, just like Super Celeste. Ah! Let me see. Gibbon was saying in chat that she would love a full retail version of this, but won't hold her breath. Also, about the... Whoa! About the story of Super Celeste. Ugh! Oh well, I got the strobe so I can leave. So what's going on here then? Oh, we fall down. I've missed one. I can't get it now. Never mind. This is not an all strobes run. This is a first impressions run. Wait, how do you get enough height to get up there? Alright, so Gibbon was saying in chat, Super Celeste got me from 2 angles. I am of course a trans woman myself and went through a lot of Madeline's insecurities, but also I am a software dev from Seattle who at one point took up photography because my grandfather was a noted photographer, which is exactly the story of the character Theo in that game. Was a very I'm in this picture and I don't like it moment. She's also got a pill bottle. I didn't notice that. But she does, which is not indicative on its own, but combined with other stuff, yeah. But yeah, you could read that in a number of ways, but yeah. Because I definitely took a mental health angle out of it, so the pill bottle could be, oops. What's that stuff? You know, anti-anxiety meds and stuff. Oh yeah, wall jumps. Haha, that'll do it. Yeah. Gibbons confirming that there are secret screens that just give you strawberries. Whoa. The grappling hook is really interesting. Takes some getting used to. Oh, okay. Getting more distance gives you more speed and more jump height at the other end, I think. Why can I not get up there? Come on. Oh, by the way, I do want to point out the proportions of the characters are really cute because they're so squat. It's amazing. This is actually pretty similar to like one of the test projects in Pico 8, the Jelpy one, which we would have seen a little bit of with Mitchell Wolf's Yuka Jelpy on a previous stream where I played homebrew rare fan games. I think that's a fun part of the character design in the Celeste classic games. But it's part of the Pico 8 legacy, is why they're like that. Oops. Gibbon says also that she digs the little tune that's playing. Yeah, so once again, that's Lena Raine providing the soundtrack as she did for Super Celeste there. Good stuff. Oops. Oh! Ooh. Alright, yeah, I need to jump before reaching that wall. It's interesting because, like, it's not just another Celeste. We have a completely different control scheme with its own quirks. But, again, unlike Jumper 3, it's focused on that one and iterating on that to death. Looking forward to Earthblade. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That's the next game out from Extremely OK Games that is currently in development. Earthblade, that got a lot of excitement when it was announced just because of how well received Celeste was. Oh, wait, I thought this was a secret screen. But it goes to another screen. There might be multiple screen length secrets, like Super Celeste has that too. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I guess this is the way forward. I don't know what the other screen was then. Oh yeah, wall jumps. I always forget. If I went to the left, there probably might have been something else. I guess going to the left was the secret strawberry route. Gibbon says she appreciates that the core mechanic is completely different, allowing familiar environs and items to be tackled in a completely different way. Oh. Yeah, totally. I didn't expect this. I didn't know much about this Celeste Classic 2, so it's cool seeing that kind of thing. Ah. And yeah, Lonnie's better than Great Ogmo. I'll just say it again. But I'm glad I did play Jumper 3 to see kind of the origins of this. And you gotta walk before you can run. Let's face it. Except in the case of Pixel Junk Eden, where the sequel sucks. But never mind about that. Alright, level 3 Golden Valley. Oh, lovely color scheme again. Oh! I'll get whatever strawberries I can. Oh. Too early. Oh. No. What's the time? Okay. Well, I'm just gonna play this through until I reach the end. So yeah, that'll be a decent length stream. Depends how long this takes. This is a more substantial game than Celeste Classic 1. Okay. No! Maybe I shouldn't get greedy. I know I've already missed some strawberries. But it's so hard to just pass one by if it's right there, you know. Oh, what? The thing is, this grappling hook is not quite as forgiving as Celeste's, as Madeline's omnidirectional air jump. Air dash, rather. And it's not omnidirectional, it's octodirectional, I suppose. Almost. Oh. Nah. No! The other cool thing is adding another to the list of cool grapple games. Ugh! And they all seem to approach things a little bit differently. This one, it's interesting how much it's wringing out of something that is so limited with the only horizontally shooting grapple. Oops. Yes, I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! Triumph. Oops. I gotta hold on to that. The button, I mean. There we go. Easy peasy. It wasn't really easy. Alright. Drop, grab, yep. Gibbon says that given how much they had to do with the extremely simple grapple here, it really sparks the imagination thinking of what could be done in a full retail version. Good point. In the full retail hypothetical version, it might go more than two directions. Because Lord knows people have made really interesting grapple games. I just really want another Umihara Kumase game, that's all I want. And imagine if Celeste 2 was that. I don't think it would really fit the sort of fast-paced action of it, maybe. They should just let XOK make an official Kawase game. That's what they should do. Besides Zen-sen doing their weird cat pirate strategy games. I think the Kawase IP is valuable enough at this point that you can trust... I don't know. I don't think I started that sentence the right way, but there should be more of those games. This is tricky. But I was just overthinking it. Okay. What is this, Lemgun Lunge? Oh. So this screen you actually do have to wait, let some snowballs come down. But I guess you can bounce on them, you could have gone back a little to do that. Ooh, that's tricky. Okay. Oh, what if I... Oh. A double jump. Like this. Yeah, I went too high. Like this. Like this? Yeah, like that! Ah! Whoa, I did it! Ah, the triumph. Oh, these are killables. Oops. Oh yeah, can't grapple spikes on ice. Because they're on ice. Oh, what now, genius? Yes! Help me. I got lucky. I think I can skip ahead. Nah, not quite. Ugh. Oh, that's tough. You gotta let go at just the right time. There we go. Oh! Well, I gotta do it again now. I hate that when you're like, after so much hard work, I finally did it. And then you make a dumb mistake and you gotta do it all again. But it's always easier the second time. Because you know what you did, theoretically. I'll just grab this, and then I'll die. Ugh! Third time then. Third time. No! Oh, thank goodness. Wait, what? Are we doing this? What? Is that right? Have you played this game, Gibbon? Okay, that was right. Did you manage to finish it? Ooh. She has finished it, but has not gotten all strawberries. No shame there. I love the chapter select in Super Celeste that lets you easily revisit any section of the game. If this has that, then getting all the strawberries would be more doable. Apparently some of the strawberries are heckin' difficult. Yeah. It certainly gets your hex on sometimes. Gets your hackles up. Heckles, hackles, schmeckles, schmeckles. They're all up and then pointing at him. That's a quote from Red Dwarf. It's also the first line of the excellent edited sound compilation Noise from the Dwarf, where they take lines from the show and set them to music and pick ones that rhyme. It's very funny. Oh no! Maybe I'll skip this strawberry. Didn't need to. Lol 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 lol. I'm a genius of the gaming sphere. Not really. Woof! Oh, is this the end? Oh, I'm so glad. Because my back's hurting. Oh! 188 deaths, 23 minutes, 11 strawbs. That's pretty dang good. Let's escape this screen. If I can. I'm free! Yeah, so that wasn't a journey up the mountain, it was a journey around the mountain. And our destination was this little flowery grove here. Nice stuff. And with that, I've beaten Celeste Classic 2 and got to the end of my planned Maddy Thorson marathon today. Ain't that cool? Yeah. I'm just reflecting, if I really wanted to, I could go back and finish Jumper 3 because according to that level grid. But no, I'm not going to do that. I've had enough for today. So thanks for joining me on the journey. And yeah, check all these out everything I've played today, except for Super Meat Boy, is available free on Maddy Makes Games, the website of Maddy Thorson, the creator of these games, and Celeste, Super Celeste, whatever. Yeah. Cool. This was good. Oh, and read Maddie's essay about the trans stuff in Celeste. It's really good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and I think you can look forward to some Clue Land action next week with Bubbles the Bubblefish. Balloonfish, he said. So until then, have a good one. And be kind to each other. The end. Goodbye.